Today I think about Lance Corporal Freddie Fiegel, the Feig Isle. The whole battery remembered his rifle serial number. When we're in the field and we do our serialized gear inventory, even if it's dark at night, you call out your rifle serial number, which you knew by heart because it was a 7-digit number, like a phone number. Well, Fiegel had a funny way of speaking because of his accent. He was from Long Island, New York. And before long, his distinctive voice, even, like I said, in 29 Palms in the middle of the night, when we're going cold for chow and the first sergeant's wanting to get accountability of all the serialized gear, especially your weapon, it's got to be on you at all times. And when he called your name, you call out that 7-digit number. Well, when it came to Fiegel, you have an entire artillery battery, which was, one guns platoon, another guns platoon, and a headquarters group, FDC and supply and all those guys, all the motor T guys, comm, communications, and then all the gun crews and etc. That's a lot of people. When Fiegel's rifle number when it was his turn to call it out, he would say it like this: 6060115. And to this very day, which is about 40 years later, I still remember that number. And I'm sure some of you guys from Hog Battery remember that. So I remember Fred Fiegel, Lance Corporal, motivated, passed away. Hard charger. Guy was a hard charger. He was wild, but he was a hard charger. So rest in peace, Fred Fiegel. He was my boy. Corporal Saxon, another good Marine. Really good Marine. I served with him in Okinawa and in Korea and at Las Pulgas and in 29 Palms. And tragically, he passed away after he had re-enlisted. He picked up corporal, then he re-enlisted, and then he was tragically killed in an accident. It was just a tragic accident. Wasn't anything nefarious. He just fell asleep at the wheel on Pulgas Road, which that road has always been known as a dangerous road. And Corporal Saxon, really good guy, really good Marine, always had a smile on his face. Everybody liked him. Just a very good Marine, good likable Marine too. And looks like he was gonna make a career out of the Marine Corps because he just re-enlisted. So rip to Corporal Saxon. Another guy that comes to mind was Corporal Matt Smith, who for a time was my roommate in the Marine Corps. And he had served in the Army prior to joining the Marine Corps. He wanted a tougher challenge, so he joined the Marines. And he found it. I remember I used to ask him, pick his brain, what's the difference? Because he had done 2 years in the Army. Then he got out and he joined the Marine Corps for 4 years. So he told me the Marine Corps is heavier on PT and discipline, but the Army had like more fun. He had more fun in the Army because it was different environment, where the Marine Corps is more intense and always intense. So that was some of the difference. But he learned some cool tactics because I think he was a grunt while he was in the Army, and then he came over to artillery. So he taught me some good tactics. So he learned some good stuff being in the infantry in the Army for those 2 years. And then when he got out, he went into the fire department after his 4 years in the Marine Corps. So 2 years Army, 4 years Marine Corps. And he went into the fire service up in Santa Clara. That's where he was from. So Corporal Matt Smith drove a 66 Ford Bronco, a blue one. He let me drive it off-road once. So that was fun. So he really basically taught me how to drive a stick. And so salute to Corporal Matt Smith, another one of my boys. And another Marine who comes to mind, Sergeant Major Haas Jajoni, another good friend. I was a corporal, he was a sergeant, and he picked up staff sergeant, I picked up sergeant. I picked up staff sergeant, he picked up gunnery sergeant, and then he picked up first sergeant, then he picked up sergeant major. I stayed staff sergeant. And then he went on to serve over in the Global War on Terror overseas with the 23rd Marines, and he was highly decorated. He was like the battalion sergeant major, so he was very instrumental in and them being successful over there. So Sergeant Major Haas Jajoni, another tragic loss, who wasn't killed in combat, was more of a tragic accident back here in the United States back after his service when he was already retired. So rip to him. I also, people come to mind, Martin Parker from high school. He was a cadet lieutenant in the JROTC, Army ROTC unit that I was with in Fairfax High School. Martin Parker, U.S. Navy vet. So he wanted to go in the Navy. I remember he wanted to go real bad, and he did it. He went into the Navy. So he completed that task. We lost him to health problems just a few years back. So rip to Martin Parker. He was my class leader at one point in high school, Fairfax ROTC, JROTC. Another one, Sergeant Major Donald Bishop, who was the senior Army instructor for the high school junior ROTC program at Fairfax. He brought a level of professionalism that I recall that showed me what a sergeant major is supposed to be like. He set the standard, a high standard for what a sergeant major is supposed to be like. A professional, well-educated, good teacher. Sergeant major should be a very good teacher, and he was a very good teacher. If you're a sergeant major, you should be able to impart knowledge to your soldiers or to your Marines. So he had that. He was a very, very good instructor, teacher. To this day, my knowledge of land navigation comes from him. He was the first person who taught me land nav, and then it followed on in the Marine Corps when you go to Sergeant's Course and Staff Academy and all those types of things, and they emphasize land nav very strongly on those leadership courses. But I got the foundation from Sergeant Major Bishop at age 15, and it's the same. I mean, a compass is a compass. North is north, magnetic north, true north, grid north. There's 3 norths. How do I know that? Sergeant Major Bishop. So respect to Sergeant Major Don Bishop, who served in the Army during the Korean War and during the Vietnam War. Another one that comes to mind is Master Sergeant John Herrera, who was with the 173rd Airborne. He was a LERP in Vietnam. So he also was very good at teaching as well. He taught, his main thing was the drill and ceremonies. That was one of the things he was heavy on, drill and ceremonies. Take a full 30-inch step with the left foot. I remember that from him clearly before I went to Marine Corps boot camp. So all those guys, man, come to mind today, Memorial Day, and there's more. Those are just the ones that hit the top of my mind today. There's others like Colonel Roberson, Race Roberson. Rest in peace to him as well. He was my commanding officer at one time. I can't think of everybody, but there was another sergeant major that comes to mind that passed away tragically from 5th Battalion, 14th Marines back in the day, like early 2000s, 2004, maybe 2000, around there, 2003, something like that. So rest in peace to him and his family. There's so many other guys, man. Like I said, they don't all come to my mind, but there's more people that I think of that are servicemen, women that I know that have perished, including some in my own family, like Uncle Buford. He was a soldier. So rip to Uncle Buford, and he was like my favorite uncle when I was a kid. Had cool stories. Always smelled like cigars and beer. Anyways, rest in peace. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you to the Gold Star families, because I know you guys have losses that you're remembering. And today you guys everybody's eating barbecue and having a good time, but just take a moment to think about why Memorial Day is. It's not about happy Memorial Day. It's about Memorial Day because you're remembering somebody. So yeah, enjoy your family, enjoy your freedom, enjoy the barbecue, enjoy the fireworks, enjoy all that stuff. But just remember why this day exists, why we celebrate it, or why we have a day off. It's for people who don't have a day off, who are gone. So I just walked 1 mile up that hill, back and forth. If I do 5 loops, it's 1 mile. So they say you can't judge somebody unless you walk a mile in their shoes. I'm not judging anybody, but I still want to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes as a remembrance, to suffer for them, just to get, that sweat going, that strain, that remembrance. Like when you suffer for somebody or something, it has more significance. Just like being a Marine, when you graduate, you get that Eagle Globe Anchor. You suffered for it. When you become a Navy SEAL, you get that trident. You suffer for it. It has meaning. So like Jesus, he suffered for our freedom, for our liberation from sin. It has meaning. Everything that you do, that you suffer for, has meaning. For all you married guys out there, you know what suffering is all about. Anyways, enjoy Memorial Day. Rest in peace to everybody. Staff Sergeant Calhoun from the park, out.